Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmaswarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. O Ramakrishna, the establisher of all religions, the embodiment of all religions, and the greatest of all the incarnations, we salute thee. In the last discussion, we saw some effort is required to know our delusion. The author, Swami Sharadananji, was discussing this creation as a sort of a delusion where we are all in delusion. We are not able to know the real truth of this creation. So we think that this is all permanent, it is a fact, and no fact can disappear. So it is an eternal fact, so it will continue to be there. So we think that this world is like that, but it is not so. Yet we feel it is permanent, just like any other permanent things. So this is because of the delusion that was being discussed. So in that connection, the first point we noted last time was some effort is required to know our delusion. To know that this world is a delusion, we have to make some effort. We are already in delusion. To know that it is a delusion, that is the way to get out of it. Just as when we know it is a dream, when you come to know that the dream is a dream, dream is no more. You are in the waking state. Same case here. The world is a delusion. So when we know it is a delusion from our heart, we get out from this delusion. We see the world really as it is. What is the real nature of this world? It is God alone in another form. God in the form of a entity in samadhi. So he is Brahman. Then when he appears in the external world, so that is the reality. That same God himself is there with the name and form. So he appears as many, but he is one only. We will know amidst the many, the one. All the saints and seers, they have known this fact. So many things we see, so different things, good, bad, and favorable, unfavorable, pleasant, unpleasant. For man of realization, everything is pleasant because everything is God only. Just like when we were little boys, so we used to be given sweets made up of sugar. Sugar is cast into different shapes, some camel, elephants, and birds, bees, etc. So we would think that they are all different. But our parents knew all are only sugar, nothing else. But we would prefer, I want only a camel, no elephant. Another one would say, I want only elephant. So the name and form is the thing that differentiates the one truth. We come to know about this one. For that, some effort is required to know our delusion. It was one point that we learnt in the last discourse. And the example that was given there was Narada. Narada wanted to know what hell and heaven are there. Then Vishnu drew on the drawing, so the hell and heaven, etc. Similarly, immediately Narada rolled on that hell. He had been cursed that he should go to hell. To escape that one, he asked Vishnu, you please show me by writing what this hell and heaven are. So Vishnu wrote on the perhaps big sheet of something or on the ground itself. He drew the figure of hell. Narada immediately rolled on that one and then said, I have already suffered the hell. Then Vishnu asked, how is it? Just you rolled on this drawing. How can it be called as hell? You see, you have created the real hell also. It is hell that is created by you. This hell also on the ground, through the drawing, it is created by you. So whatever is created by you and named by you as hell, it is hell. So Vishnu accepted his intelligence. But the moral is Narada had to do at least that much. So he had to roll on the drawing where hell was shown by a competent person like Vishnu. Similarly, we have to take somebody who knows, and then they follow their advice and do some sadhanas, some spiritual practices, and we get out of the delusion. That's the idea. This was what we learned in the last discourse. And another thing we learned in the last discourse was incarnation's efforts, that is sadhanas. So they are not just feigning, they are true. They assume human bodies just like us, and they are also troubled by all the enemies of spiritual life, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, etc. Temptations come to them. So how they overcome that one? They overcome them with superhuman effort to show us the way that man can overcome all the difficulties. What is the secret? Take the help of the Guru, take the help of God, take the help of the name of God. Several things they teach. To teach that, they really assume a human body through which, they do all the sadhanas. So we cannot just dismiss them as saying they are only feigning, they are just only acting. It is not true. We must take it at this face value. They are really struggling as any human being would struggle, but they have got a greater determination, greater strength, and greater resolve to reach the goal. That is the thing that makes them different from us. Then there is a third point we learnt. Then the question was asked, are we all in the delusion? Only a few jnanis, they only say that this world is a delusion. But crores and crores of us, we are all seeing that it is true. So crores and crores of opinions are true, or only a thousand people's, thousand jnanis version is true. Then the author says, the number does not make a truth or falsehood. A truth is a truth, either professed by 1,000 people, or if it is refuted by crores of people, then that will not become truth. Truth is a truth, even if it is uttered by minority of people or only one person. And then the another question that was asked was, you say delusion. That means we are in a stupor, we are in a sort of a unconscious state, semi-conscious state. So that is why we are seeing the world as an illusion. So, but illusion or delusion can be for one man, but others also see it as the same. For example, I am seeing a dream. All of you would not see the same dream. So in my dream, I will be seeing a ghost. All of you are never known, are never in the knowledge of ghost. You can now not even imagine a ghost. So how is it that all of us see this delusion? So I also see the world as world, the sun as sun, moon as moon, the hill as hill, river as a river, and all the 100 crores of people or 1,000 crores of people, they also see it same. How can it be an illusion then? Illusion for one person. So all the people, if they are the illusion, how is it possible? Then this Swami takes up this one in the form of that in the whole universe is an ideation in the cosmic mind. So the truth is, God is dreaming. It is not I dreaming. God dreams means God resolves. He decides. He wishes. Let the worlds be created. Created from what? Created with the jivas and the 24 cosmic principles. This we read as we go further in the study of this book. And the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna deals with this subject in the same way as this author is dealing, making it understandable to common people like us. So the world is created with jivas and principles of the world, the five basic principles, Prithvi, Ap, Tejo, Vayur, Akasha. the air, the space, the water, the fire, and the earth. So these five basic principles, Panchamaha Dhatu. So this Panchamaha Bhuta, these are the basic principles with the life principle called the Jiva. Jiva is part and parcel of God. So God imparts one part of Him itself into every body. So each one of us are having one part of God Himself. This part is thinking that I am the Jiva. But he does not know that the Jiva is part and parcel of God, inseparable. So that is there. When God creates, He just thinks that all be created and immediately it gets created. So that the question may arise. One of the disciples of Holy Mother asked her, was the world created one by one? Or was it created just like that, instantaneously, as God wished, and immediately the whole world came into existence? Mother said the latter one. It is correct. God just thinks in a moment, all men, women, devatas, ghosts, and gods and goddesses, and all the different worlds, the heaven, the earth, the hell, all are created simultaneously, just like that, by one sankalpa, they say. God's sankalpa, God's resolve, God's wish. And when He wishes, let the world be created, whole world is created. That means where is it created? It is in His own mind. Just as a poet or an artist would conceive of a word, conceive of a drawing, whole thing is there in his mind, clear. Afterwards only it comes out through his pencil or through his charcoal or through his paints. First of all, it is there in his mind. So similarly, this whole world, the whole cosmos, when God thinks, let it be like this, instantly the whole cosmos comes into existence. Like instantly, He can just close up the whole show. So this is affirmated, this is confirmed by great persons like Holy Mother. They say instantaneous creation, instantaneous destruction. That is the special power of God. So this whole universe, the Swami says, is the ideation in the cosmic mind. Cosmic mind is God. God's mind, this whole universe has come up. So his mind, he says, let the worlds be, let the cosmos be. All the cosmos have come into existence. So, naturally, whoever is in that cosmos, so each one is a creation of God Himself. Everything inside him is God, God's parts only. They form up, each thing is also God's mind. His mind also is God's mind. His senses are also in the God's mind. They are all part and parcel of God. So all of us are part and parcel of that cosmic mind. Therefore, if cosmic has created a hill, so I also have to accept it as hill. All the 10,000 crores or 1,000 crore people, they all have to see it as hill only, because we are part of God. God has called it as hill and has given a shape. So it is a hill for every one of us. So he answers that question. How is it all of us are simultaneously in one delusion? It is not an ordinary delusion of a single person. This person who is creating this whole universe is God Himself. Inside Him, all the persons are there. All of us are there inside Him. So whatever He thinks, we must think. As a person who is dreaming, whatever he thinks happens in his dream. A person in his dream, he thinks, I want to climb a tree, which he has never done when he was awake. But he is on the tree itself. And all the other people also see he is on the tree. So they cannot say, oh, it is all, he has gone on the tree, he has never climbed a tree when he was there in the waking state. How can he climb? Nobody can ask. He climbs the tree, it is true for him, others also true. So, in this way, ideation in the cosmic mind, ideation in God. This was the last point we saw. Today, we shall continue further the discussion of the universe as the ideation in the cosmic mind. Therefore, from the standpoint of the scriptures, it is seen that the universe, which is an idea in the universal mind, is in a way an ideation of our minds also. Whatever the God has thought, we also have to see it as it is. What He has created as hill, it is hill for us. So our minds also will see the same ideation. For our limited individual minds have an eternal, inseparable relation with the aggregate universal mind, like that between the limbs and the body. We are part and parcel of God. Our mind is part and parcel of God's mind. Our Chaitanya, our souls are part and parcel of the Supreme Soul. Therefore, we are like limbs to the whole body, inseparable. Again, it cannot be said that there was a time when the aforesaid ideation was not in existence in the universal mind and it came into existence afterwards. For the two things, name and form, are space and time, without which there could be no diversity, are included in the idea of the universe. Coherence with the said idea. By a little calm thinking, the reader will be able to understand it and know why the Vedas and other scriptures teach that Prakriti or Maya, the ultimate material of creation. I was telling the 24 principles and the jivas, they are the material. So they are all part and parcel of Prakriti, the nature. So God is in charge of this nature. Nature is his power. So ultimate material of creation is this Prakriti. It is beginningless and beyond time. If the universe is an idea of the mind, and if the beginning of the idea is not within that, within what we understand by time, it comes to this, that simultaneously with the idea called time, the idea called the universe exists in the universal mind. The support of that idea, as our limited individual minds have been experiencing that idea for an infinitely long time, they have a firm belief in the real existence of the universe. We have been in this type of illusion birth after birth. We do not know how many births we have taken. Buddha recounted his number of births. 500 births he had taken. He himself says to become a Buddha in the 501, the birth of him. So 500 births he had taken. So in 500 births, when you are in delusion, naturally you consider delusion is the natural thing. It is the real truth. You don't consider it as a delusion. So they have a firm belief in the real existence of the universe. They don't consider it as a delusion. Because birth after birth they are seeing the same earth, same sun, same moon, and same the working out of each one's fate, destiny, joy and sorrow. Same thing are going through the rigmarole, birth after birth. We all are completely in delusion, thinking that delusion is the real thing. We don't know what real thing is. So the only thing we know is delusion. So we call the delusion itself is the real thing. And having been debarred from the immediate knowledge of the reality of the non-dual Brahman for a long time, they do not know that the universe is a mere idea. And we are now unable to detect their error. So, having believed that this world is real, it has gone so deep into us, we cannot get out of it unless we get a knowledge of the Godhead Himself who created it. So that is called to know that God directly through the soul itself. The soul sees the super soul. The soul sees directly the real truth, not through the senses. which always gives you an illusion effect. So we are seeing the world through senses. So we each one has a different universe. Each thing gives a different aspect for each person because of difference in the senses and his mind. So this happens. When do we see everywhere the same truth? Same truth is God Himself. Unless we get a knowledge of God, that is what we call as immediate knowledge, aparoksha jnana. In Vedanta, it's called aparoksha jnana. What we are having is indirect perception, paroksha jnana, indirect perception, not straight looking at the object, but through several medias. For example, I see you or you see me. You are not seeing me what I am, or I see you as you are. Some light reflected from your body will comes enters my eyes. It falls on the retina. It creates some vibration. Then it carries the vibration through the nerves to one part of the brain. So behind that brain, I am sitting as a soul. I am the perceiver. I am the sentient person. I am the consciousness. Consciousness alone can know. No amount of the material can know. Your television cannot know by itself unless somebody else knows and says it is a television. So television screen, many dramas may be acted or some other things may be there, but only a sentient person knows it is a drama, it is a poetry, or it is something else. So the sentient person is not able to see you directly. The rays from my body will go into your eyes, then onto the retina. Retina it connects into vibration. It passes through the nerve system. This nerve system go to one part of the brain, and in that brain, so some reaction takes place, and then the Atman sees, oh, this is Gautamananda I am seeing. Is it a direct perception? So it is called the aparoksha jnana. It is paroksha jnana, indirect perception. What is aparoksha jnana? That which is opposite of it. The soul sees directly. The other one. The soul directly sees means it sees the soul inside you. It is soul and it looks at the soul inside you. That is the real knowledge. So the real knowledge is impossible through our senses. So the immediate knowledge the author refers to is called aparoksha jnana in Vedanta. Seeing directly, bypassing the senses, bypassing the retina, bypassing the nervous system, bypassing the light that is coming in the body, the Atman sees the Atman. Atmanev Atmanam. So the soul itself sees the soul directly. That is called the direct perception. So immediate knowledge of the reality of the non-dual Brahman for a long time we did not have. They do not know therefore that the universe is a mere idea and are now unable to detect their error. So we have been accepting this universe as true, it is real. So we cannot get out of this idea so easily. For we have already said that it is by a comparison with real things and states only that we can detect external and internal errors. So when do we call a thing as error? Only when we see the right thing. So when we say the 10 people are given a mathematical problem, 9 people they have done it properly. One fellow has gone somewhere wrong and arrived at a wrong solution. When does he come to know that his solution is wrong? Because he himself has calculated and come to that solution. He thinks it is true, it's correct. Only when he looks at the others 9 people's answer, then this is who I am wrong. So by comparison with the real thing only, one can know one's error. So we should also have the knowledge of the real thing, that is God. Unless we have God realization, unless we have soul realization, Atma Jnana, we cannot know that this world is unreal. Now it is clear that our conception experience, etc., of the universe have assumed their present forms as the result of our habits accumulated over an almost infinitely long time. So, if we want to have the right knowledge of the universe, we shall have to be acquainted with the entity beyond name and form, time and space, mind and intellect, and all other things comprised in the universe. The effort to have that acquaintance has been described as sadhana. That acquaintance is that God. To know God, whatever effort is made, that is called sadhana. Sadhana is the effort made to know God, who is beyond space and time, beyond this cosmos, beyond the creation. It is called sadhana by the Vedas and other scriptures. And in India, men and women in whom that effort exists, with or without their knowledge, are called sadhakas. Sadhaka and the sadhana. The spiritual work, spiritual exercises, and the person who does the spiritual exercises. So these two are there in this whenever we think about getting out of this delusion. Generally speaking, the aforesaid effort in search of the reality beyond the universe has taken its course along two main channels. One is what has been called in the Shastras Neti Neti. Na iti, na iti. Na means no. Iti means yes. That which says not this, not this. It is not this, it is not this. What is this path? The author will himself explain. Neti, neti. Not this, not this. Or the path of knowledge. The second one is path. The earlier one is this is called path of knowledge. Jnana Yoga. Then the other iti, iti. This is. So, or the path of devotion. In the path of devotion, we affirm whatever we see. In the path of jnana, we negate. How? So, when we say that Brahman, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, that is the Vedas, Vedic statement. This Brahman is eternally existing, Satyam. Jnanam, it is infinite knowledge, not finite knowledge. And then Anantam is infinite, infinite in nature, that is called Ananda. Ananta is always Ananda. In the Upanishad itself, Ananta is called Ananda. Only that is the infinite, Bhuma Tat Sukham. That infinite alone is the joy. So the Ananta and Ananda are the same. So Brahman is called, it is infinite existence, infinite knowledge, and infinite bliss. So all these qualities, if they are there in anything, then we can say that this is the Brahman. But where is there? All creation is only a part of that infinite whole. So nothing can equal to that. So the Jnana Yoga says, so when you think that something is finite, it is not Brahman. Na, it is not Brahman. Na iti, it is not this, it is not this. Go on giving up all, eliminating all as not Brahman, not Brahman. A time will come which there is a particular stage. The reality at that stage cannot be denied. What is that? The Shastras will tell. The Swami himself is going to explain further. When we reach the state when only the Atman is there, only Brahman is there, nothing else is there. So how to deny? To deny itself, you have to be part of Brahman. Suppose you say, I am dead. What do you say that you are dead? Your body is dead. Your body is fallen down, so it is being burnt. But who is it that is telling this one? That you, the Atman of the body, it is there. So anything, it can be denied, not this Atman, that I am, I am, I am. This cannot be denied. I am not. If you say, who is telling this I am not? I am telling. So my existence is absolutely the real truth which can never be denied. So that stage, when it is reached, you know there is only one Brahman which has created everything out of it. So that is going to come slowly. So this, not this, means this big truth. Go on denying that this is not Brahman, this is not Brahman. And everything must get eliminated. Because everything that is in the universe is part of that infinite whole. So nothing is infinite here. So nothing, neither knowledge is infinite, neither love or beauty is infinite, nor life is infinite. So anything is within these limits cannot be Brahman. So it denies the whole cosmos, whole creation, everything that is there, other than your own self, which cannot be denied. When we reach the last point, then we come to know we have reached which we cannot deny. Oh, this is Brahman. And we also come to know that that Brahman is infinite, infinite in knowledge, infinite is existence, infinite is love and bliss. So this is the path of Jnana Yoga. The other path which he said is iti, this. That means the bhakta, the devotee, the aspirant following the path of knowledge, has from the beginning a conception of the ultimate deal, ultimate ideal. All the Jnana yogis, they are in the very beginning itself told, deny everything that is not the Satyam Jnanam Anantam. So if these qualities are not there, deny it is not Brahman. So when you cannot say no to a particular thing, then you know that you have reached the Brahman. So they know the goal very clearly. So to deny it, they have to only to apply this rule. This one that is there before me, is it Satyam? Is it Jnana? Is it Ananta? If these three are not there, infinite knowledge, infinite life, infinite love and bliss, if it is not there in it, it is not Brahman. So dismiss it from the mind. Don't allow it to come to you either in the form of a solid form or in the form of a voice or words or in the form of a ideation, a thought. In any, all are untrue. Thought about an untrue thing is also untrue. So the not seeing of an untrue thing is also not seeing itself. So like that, deny. So that is the path of neti neti. But in the bhakti, we don't deny at all. We consider this whole universe as God Himself. Every piece is God. So it may be small, it may be big, it may be important or unimportant. Just as we dismiss, oh, so many millions and millions of hands, what is their use of their existence? You may not be the use of them. But God knows. They have their own place. The whole universe, it has its own place. Just as we know today, there is no single atom you can disturb without disturbing the whole system of atoms throughout the universe. If you just shake one atom, the whole world gets shaken. You may not know now. You will come back. You will be able to detect that this one atom also is part and parcel of the whole. So everything is connected to one another. So we do not know the real relation. So in devotional practices, the path of devotion, bhakti yoga, we affirm everything. We say this is also God, ant also is God, and the creator God also, Brahma, is also God. Brahma stamba paryantam, starting from Brahman to the last grass, everything is Brahman alone. It has become the universe. So Sri Ramakrishna, all great people, affirm this one. So we will come across all that one further. The aspirant following the path of knowledge, from the very beginning he has the idea of the ultimate ideal. But always remembering it, this Jnana Yogi goes forward consciously toward that ideal, that is infinite Brahman. The traveler on the path of devotion, Bhakti Yogin, retains very often ignorant, or remains very often ignorant of where he will go ultimately. So we are all belonging to that category. We are all devotees. So we do not know exactly how God is, where God is, whether it is in Goloka or Kailasa or Devi Loka, where he is. But we are all positively following. And we are sure, because our gurus who have realized it, they have told us this path will lead you to God. So we affirm that whatever little I am doing, I do not know where it will lead. I do not know now with my limited knowledge. But these practices that I am doing, they are true because that has been given to me by a proper guru. And these things have led him to the highest goal. And he has taught us the same path. So we say, this is true, this is true, this is true. So we don't deny anything. So bhaktas, the bhakta accepts higher and higher ideals, one after another, as he goes forward, and at last becomes directly acquainted with the non-dual reality beyond the universe. So Bhakta also arrives at the same. He arrives at the Supreme God, who is only one without a second. The whole universe gets merged into him. So it is from him the universe comes, plays for some time, goes back into him. The reality is only that Brahman. Bhakta also comes to know it. And the Jnani also comes. But Jnani knows that ideal from the very beginning. Keeping that ideal, he goes on, making efforts to reach it. Bhakta, he doesn't bother about the ideal so much his path that has been shown to him by his guru. So little by little he progresses and he is revealed the next few steps, next few steps. So this is called the path of iti iti. This is the only point of difference between the two, the Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. For the travelers on both the paths have to renounce the conception about the universe held by the common man. Both of them, they know that this world is illusion. They accept it. They might have realized it, but they have faith in those people who realize. The man on the path of knowledge tries to renounce it in all respects from the very beginning. And although the devotee proceeds by partly renouncing and partly retaining it, he too at long last renounces it wholly and arrives at the truth. So when the Jnana Yogi or Bhakti Yogi, when they come to the ultimate stage, they converge. So both of them sees the whole creation as the play of God. It is not that real as we are assuming it. So Bhakta also realizes this one, Jnani also realizes. So we see so many Jnanis among Sri Ramakrishna's disciples, and outside this parampara also, so many Jnanis are there, Bhaktas are there. Both of them speak the same language, that this whole world is the play of God. They put it in different languages. God is the ruler of the world. He can do anything in this world. What does it mean? It is play. It is nothing but a play for him. There is nothing that can oppose him. He is the supreme person who is true, and all other things are in his hands. So, Jnani and the Bhaktas, they arrive at the truth by denying the present stages of delusion that this world is real and all the joys and sorrows are real. So, these are denied, both the Bhakta and by the Jnani. One without a second, they come and reach. The renunciation of the common conception of the universe, colored by our selfishness, which has made enjoyment the only goal of life, has been called by the scriptures detachment or dispassion. So that we give up the things that we are considering as true Now, in the deluded state, as we proceed along the path of realization of the real truth, the bhakta, on the precepts of his guru, he denies. No, there is joy. People say, my guru has said the joys end up in sorrow. Anityam asukam lokam imam prapya bhajasvama. Bhagavan Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, everything in this world is anitya, impermanent, not long lasting, lasts only for a short time, anitya, and therefore asukha. Anything that lasts only for a few days or few months or even few years is not will not give you happiness. Suppose you get a very beautiful house, somebody gives you free. So I don't have any use for this one. All my children have gone away to America. I am also going away. Take this. He gives to his friend. He is in a small house of his own. For all his life he can be there. But this man who is handing over his new house says, but maybe after 3 years or 2 years I may come back. Then you will have to vacate it. Would you like to go for this new, very comfortable house, or would you like to remain in the same old house which is your own? All your life you can spend there. No intelligent man will give up the small, his own apartment to come to an apartment which can last only 2 years under him. Then, if the proprietor comes, you have to hand it over and be on the street. So, anything asukam, anityam, whatever is not permanent is unhappy one also. It brings you unhappiness. So, this is a universal truth that Bhagavan Sri Krishna says. Not that everywhere only sorrow is there, but something appears to be joy. But because it is short lived, the joy itself will give you sorrow later on. Enjoying the house for 2 years and leaving it on the instructions of the proprietor. No, I want the house, you go away. So you, not that you did not have enjoyment, that you ended up in sorrow, perhaps greater sorrow than if you had not accepted it. So this sort of a anityatva, the temporariness of things makes everything sorrowful. It ends up in sorrow. The wise people tell this one. The renunciation of that common conception of the universe, colored by our selfishness, which has made enjoyment the only goal of life. Because we forget this truth that everything is impermanent, so we go for enjoyment. All enjoyments are so short lived, and for which we spend so much of energy, so much of our valuable life. We would not do when, if we are convinced, it is only for a short time, has been called by the scriptures. So a man who thinks about this and does not go for these temporal enjoyments, temporary enjoyments, short-lived enjoyments, who gives it up gladly through the knowledge that this short enjoyment is going to lead me into misery afterwards. Very, very shortly the misery will come. It will follow. The enjoyment will be ending with a sorrow. If you remember, you never get into that affair at all. Never accept that gift at all of 2 years. So this is called vairagya, dispassion or detachment. So we want the knowledge of God, for which the vairagya is very, very necessary. So unless you give up the temporary things, short-lived things, to get the permanent, the eternal thing, this we do it, there is no question of progress in spiritual life. So we may do any other things, but unless the dispassion, detachment, also called vairagya, if vairagya is not there, this is we are holding on to the impermanent. So we say we want permanent. How can impermanent and permanent live together? So this impermanence has to be given up. Then only the mind aspires to reach the permanent as early as possible. Because the old is gone. New is we have to catch hold of as early as possible. You cannot be on the street for long. So vigorously we practice for attainment of the goal. And as soon as we start giving up the non-eternal things. The more we develop the Vairagya for the worldly things, more our devotion to God comes and more quickly we advance towards God. This is how the Vairagya is an absolute necessity for the beginning of a spiritual life. So these truths are being discussed and it will continue in the next discourse. We will continue the same topic. Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampadhrita Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namama. O Ram Krishna, taintless, changeless, and infinite form, who has incarnated only to bless the devotees, and who is the adorable Supreme God Himself, we salute Thee with our heads down.